Oh.
Oh, some people kill me.
Why?
A guy I deployed with over to Africa, he says, I am Shawn Michaels all day, all summer long. Africa, he says, I am Shawn Michaels. Would you say something for me?
No. Did it come through?
Yeah, we're good to go. Yep, we're good to go. I just had to check audio. And video looks good. Neither one of us are glowing.
She put the deposit down on it.
Sounds like Fireball's on his way back.
Well, just keep. What all have you driven? Okay, but until you
Hold on.
driving.
How's your week been? With
It was the last week before spring break. How do you think it went?
So you got any special trips for spring break with the bus or
Like,
I got nothing all week. But the kids were chaotic. They didn't listen. They trashed my bus. It was just a rough week. And that was even with a snow day on Monday because of the storm, the blizzard we were supposed to get that ended up being about 30 miles south of us.
yeah, that blizzard smoked us.
We got the wind, but we didn't get the 1 to 2 feet of snow we were supposed to get. We got about 4 inches.
And I think it got us with I think we got 5.5, 6 inches of snow. But the thing that got us was it rained beforehand. So as the rain changed over to snow and the temps went below zero, you had a sheet of ice under that snow, and oh my lord, did it just absolutely it played hell with us. I was wondering how you guys got how you fared up that way.
We were fine.
it's like 10 out, 10, 15 out.
And we got plenty to talk about until Fireball gets here. There's been a lot going on this week in gaming.
No.
I haven't paid an ounce of attention. I've been between work and the kids this week. I've gotten a little bit of time to play my game, and that's about it.
Ah.
Well, all the season 1 stuff kicked off, so it's been like a mad rush of just a shit ton of new content.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw a little bit of I don't know if you would call it complaining about the midnight with the new race that came out, or if it was uh actual truth about how the new race looks so much better than all the OG races.
What the Herondar versus the OGs?
Yeah. Yeah, I just saw a little bit about how some people were irritated about how you could how you can make the new one look a lot better than the old than the other, like, humans and dwarf elves and
I
orcs and
think
stuff like that.
I think it's the fact that they have a lot of customization options.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
But their body type is they're just fat night elves. They really just are. They use the same skeleton, the same model, the same rigging. They're just thicker.
Yeah.
So it's like you take your little night elf character from 20 years ago, put 2 kids out of her, and that's what she looks like now.
That's a good
I don't know how else you want to describe it. That's what it looks like.
Boy, thank you for liking the TikTok live. I do appreciate it. And thank you for the follow. Yeah, like I said, I've seen some of the articles about it, and like I said, I didn't know if it was just uh pampered players that were complaining, or if it was an actual complaint that they looked better than the other races. So that's why I was like, and I even said this on Talking Tuesday. I said, I'm going to wait until Saturday until Zanar Creststrider comes in, and then I'm going to ask him, since you are our SME when it comes to World of Warcraft. So I think what you're pretty much saying is there's a whole lot of smoke. There's just no fire there.
Now you have to take that with a grain of salt because that's my personal opinion. A lot of people really like them. And I'm happy that they like them because it was kind of like the Earthen with the War Within, where I really liked the Earthen because they were just stone dwarves. They were slightly bigger. They had all kinds of rocky, stony, crystal options that you could do with them. And they were dwarves and they were available to both sides. A lot of people got pissed. Oh, this is our third dwarf. You know, we haven't gotten anything new. That's the whole point of allied races. Allied races are intended to be easy for Blizzard to create. They utilize existing assets, either skeleton, rigging, animations, something, and it just slap a new texture over it and give it some new racials, and there you go. That's why most of our existing allied races use or are based off of something else. So, for example, we got the Void Elves. They're Blood Elves, exact same. They have all the same animations, same models. They're just different skin options and different. There's a little bit of Void tendril thing they got going on. Lightforged Draenei, obviously based off the Draenei, have different racials. Dark Iron Dwarf, same thing, just based off the dwarves. Earthen, again, based off dwarves. Kultiran are somewhat unique in the sense that they have a lot of custom animations and stuff, but they're another variant of humans. The Mechanome, obviously gnomes. You get over into the Horde side, and the Nightborn are just night elves that are slightly different. The High Mountain Tauren are just Tauren. Maghar Orc are another variant of orcs. The Earthen again are dwarves. Zandalari Troll. They've had a presence in the game since Classic, as in different sects of them. So they took that, polished it up, added some different animations to it, and cut it loose. Volpera are based off of the Goblin rigging. They're the same size as goblins. They use the goblin animations for a lot of stuff. And then, you get down into the Heronir, and obviously, that's Night Elf with a different coat of paint. That's the whole point of the allied races. Now, when they add a new proper race, like the Pandaren and the Drakthir, they have gotten completely new animations from the ground up. Yeah. They have built them to be proper races. We get those very rarely. but we've been getting an average of 1 to 3 allied races for the last. It's usually about 1 allied race since they were added in Battle for Azeroth. And Battle for Azeroth added 4 to each side, or was it? Yeah, 4 to each side. Because the Horde got the Nightborn, the Magheart, or the High Mountain Tauren, the Magheart Orcs, and the Volpera. The Alliance got the Void Elves, the Lightforged Draenei, the Dark Iron Dwarf, and the Kultirans.
And that makes a lot of sense. How it's just like kind of like a spin-off of the main race, because in real life you have the same thing where uh depending on what part of the world you're in, you could be a Shiite or a Sunni. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, and
I get it. I truly do, and I think I now understand. Thanks to you, uh, I understand more of the article that I read.
See, one thing I wish they would do is go back and do another pass over the races. Like, humans can be almost every class. They can't be druids, shamans, demon hunters, or evokers. Evoker is limited to Drakthir only because it's all based off of draconic magic inherent in their bodies. Nobody can learn to be an evoker. That's just how they are. That's how they were created. So that's fair. That's a you have to be Drakthir if you're an evoker. Everything else, one could argue that everyone else should be able to be everything else. Because all of the other ones are learned. And people would argue that there might be lore reasons why Demon Hunter should be restricted, but they just added Void Elves to the ability to be Demon Hunters, so it's not like you can't teach somebody how to do it. The attunement to nature thing for Druid or Shaman, one could argue certain races there, but they have added them over time. We have gained it on Dwarves for Shaman and Druid. We have human Druids in the form of Kultiran. They just learned it from a different source, but it's still the same Druidism.
I guess one question, and it's not really a question because I think I know the answer, but for everyone out there who is watching, we have got quite a few people watching right now. These new races that were introduced into World of Warcraft, that is because the story of World of Warcraft kind of went into that area and they discovered them. Am I right or am I wrong?
Kind of, yeah. A lot of them have been explained as so in the case of some of these races, we encountered them and worked with them. So Battle for Azeroth launched right after Legion ended. During Legion, we met the High Mountain Tauren. We met the Nightborn Elves. We met the Lightforged Draenei. And interacted with all of them. Now, both factions interacted with them the same, because the story was the same, Horde or Alliance. It didn't matter. When it came time to add them, they added them to the logical side they would. The Tauren went with the Tauren, the Draenei went with the Draenei. Now, interestingly enough, the Void Elves and the Nightborn went opposite. And they did that as a story thing of, well, the Nightborn have animosity against the Night Elves because of the whole Suramar thing 10,000 years ago. And the Nightborn got exiled from the Blood Elves when they started tapping into the Void. Or the Void Elves did. So they went back to the Alliance, which is kind of funny because the Blood Elves joined the Horde after a bunch of shit in Warcraft 3 with the High Elves. And you could actually play through those campaigns. There was a human paladin that was an absolute just dick to them. And they went, yeah, fuck you, see ya, we're going to go join these guys now. And went through and did that. That's why the Blood Elves are on the Horde. But then when the Void Elves got exiled, they went back to the Alliance and went, yeah, okay, I guess you guys are less evil. That one's kind of contrived. It's just, but they had to give an excuse of why the Alliance have elves now. Most of them, they've been doing a split where you could have them on both sides. You've got 4 races like that now with the Earthen, the Pandaren, the Harenir, and the Drakthir. They're just on both sides. They just went, yeah, it's a neutral race. Doesn't matter. You get to pick which side you want. They did that as a part of the storyline for the Pandaren. It was a big part of the whole. You're journeying out into this unknown world. You have to ally with somebody. Which path do you want to choose? Now, when you create your character and go through the starting zone, you have already decided what faction you're going to go on, but this still presents you with that choice. One of these days, I'm going to go do it and choose the opposite side just to see if it flips me over. Because I'm curious about that. Start off, create the Pandaren as Horde. So on your screen, it's like Horde Pandaren, no big deal. And then hit the end of the starting zone and hit Alliance and just see what happens.
And see if you confuse the system. That would be awesome.
The system was built to have these things flip whatever faction, so that base programming should still be in there if you go through the original starting zone and not the new starting zone that they kind of just shove everybody into.
So we have a quick break real quick. For everybody out there, we've kind of already started. I didn't get there because, man, we've been having a great discussion on World of Warcraft. But it is Saturday. It's after 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. So that means your Gnomad Gamers are live. Beside me, you have got Zanar Cruststrider. And you guys will notice that we don't have a third. Fireball is running a little bit behind. He should be here in about 5 minutes. But either way, we're gonna get this party started with or without him. So if you are watching over on Facebook right now, I want to say thank you very much. What we need help on the Facebook side of life. We need you to head on over to Facebook, type in our name, Gnomad Gamers. When you get to our page, hit the follow button. Turn on your notifications, or don't, because who knows what platform you like to watch us on. If you are watching us over on YouTube, again, thank you very much. If you're not a follower, I highly suggest that you hit that follow button, give us a thumbs up, hit that heart. That way, you're showing us a little bit of love. If you're out there watching me or watching us on any of my personal social medias, that's Facebook, Kick, Twitch, and TikTok, I want to say thank you very much. If you're not a follower, again, I invite you to hit that follow button, turn on your notifications. That way, every night when I come live at you, you are being notified. I think that is everything that, or that's not everything, but that's everything for the beginning. So without Fireball here, it is going to be kind of, it's going to be kind of weird. I got to pull double duty.
You mean we won't have to talk about Call of Duty for 45 minutes for a change?
Or AI. Oh, wait. Did I say that out loud? I did tell all my followers on a Thursday that I was gonna have him tone that down a little bit. So, did you catch the news on Monday?
No.
Bethesda dropped a bombshell on their fans, and I know you don't play it, and I know what you think about it because we've talked in depth about it. But Starfield is getting not one, not two, but 3 updates between now and April 7th. And the other thing that they're doing is they are finally taking Starfield from Xbox and the PC and they're porting it over to the PlayStation 5. So we've got
It's interesting that they would decide to do that now, right after Sony came out and went a giant middle finger to everybody that wasn't PlayStation.
Yeah, I found that to be interesting as well. Because here's the thing. We all know how hostile Sony is to the other gaming platforms. and you said it perfectly last week. And when I was looking at Talking Tuesday, I kind of came to the same agreement: is they won't crossplay, just like what you said, because Sony looks at it as a lost revenue for them. Because if you're on Xbox or PC, then they're not getting the chance to get that revenue. Got it. But with the new Bounty Trackers Alliance that dropped on Monday, there is a catch, Nomad Nation. There is. And as soon as I say this, Crust Rider is going to probably look all weird, probably about as weird as I did. You have to go to a creator to get the new, you see, I knew that was coming, to get the new content for the Bounty Hunters Trackers Alliance.
Kind of creator.
One of the modders. I don't know if this modder. Yeah, look it up. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, screw
I
that.
was like, whoa, this doesn't look right. Because I did a lot of looking at it. Because as everybody out there knows, I thought Starfield was a fun game. I did. It had its problems. It had obvious holes in the story. The shipbuilding, which I really enjoyed, Crest Rider was the first one to tell me it looks like a pancake. You couldn't get any definition to your ship. From what the three individuals, the head of art, the head of production, and I think the third one was, and I don't remember the actual term, but I think he's the head one for as far as content goes, like your quest lines and stuff like that. They said that with the free range, they were changing almost everything. So now instead of when you want to go from planet A to planet B, instead of selecting that planet and you see your ship zoom off and then there's a cutscene and then you come in, whether that be for combat or you're just looking around the planet, now you have free range to be able to pilot your ship from one planet to the other. The only thing that I have not been able to put my thumb on as of right now is can it be intergalactic? Can I go from Aquila City to New Atlantis without the ability to fast travel or fast travel, one of the two? I have not yet found if they're going to be able to do that or if they will do that. So I don't know. They completely revamped how you build ships. They say they listen to the fans. I don't know. That is one to be. I'm in a personal debate, personal grapple right now. Do I buy the game for the PC and play with it again and see how I like these updates? And the reason why I'm grappling with this, and Crest Rider can understand this, it took them how long to one, fix the game, and two, to bring out DLCs? We've had one DLC in 2 years, Shattered Space. I don't
And it
know.
wasn't worth the money.
So what?
I said, and it wasn't worth the money.
No, it was not. Shattered Space did very little for the story, did very little for shipbuilding, and did very little for exploration. Now, the one thing that Bethesda has done that I thought was amazing was they have now introduced a new faction into the game. The Tehran or Tehran, however you say their name. I've only heard it like twice. Either way. The one thing I can't figure out about them is if they got human overlords or if it's a race of all robots. I can't figure that part out yet. They've made it to where on some planets you have they have a block for you being able to jump to hyperspace. So you're actually going to have to go to the planet and destroy this inhibitor to be able to travel throughout the universe. Without playing it and with just seeing it, I would give Bethesda at least a C because they're trying. The one thing I really want out of Starfield, I don't think they can give us, and that would be to open it up to almost like how Fallout 76 is, to where if Zanar Crestrider and myself, we want to form a crew or we want to go out, game, and explore together, we have that ability to do that. And as of right now, Starfield is still a single player game, which limits the fun. Go ahead, Crestrider.
I was gonna say, I mean, Bethesda games typically have been single player in the past. It wasn't until Fallout 76 that we really got. And I mean, okay, so not including MMO, because I don't consider Fallout 76 an MMO. It is a multiplayer, but it's not massive in the same scale, considering you could only have like 20 players in a map.
That is very true.
But you know, that was the big deal about Fallout 76 was the fact that it was a multiplayer Bethesda game.
Yep.
I mean,
because I've met some of the best friends from Fallout 76.
I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Fallout 76.
That is completely correct. So I mean, I see where they're going, but the problem with how I'm looking at Starfield, how I'm looking at Bethesda, and how I am looking at the possible progression, how do you keep this story going? There's 1,600 planets in total. With the new home planet for this new faction, I think that raises the planets up to 5 that are inhabited that A, we know about, and B, we have a story to. Now, it's hard for them to bring a new story into it because they went ahead and released all 1,600 planets on day one. And I know of a few players out there who they have not explored all 1,600, but they're up to about 75% now. So they're getting up there. So I just don't know how they keep telling the story. And then the other thing I didn't like that I had to ding them on, one of the challenges to that game is that when you enter Unity and you look around, you can see what Sarah's doing after you left. You have a choice with her too. Depending on what choice you make with her is what you see in the Unity. You see Constellation, you see the UC, you see the Freestar, you see all the factions and what they done because of what the choices you made in the quest line leading up to Unity. And then you got a choice. You can either keep going forward and go through Unity and effectively keep your memory of everything from before, or you can turn around, exit Unity. Everything is the way that it was when you went in, and then whenever you feel like going through Unity, you're more than welcome to go back through. And then you're Starborn if it's the first time. If not, you're just Starborn over and over again. Well, what they did, and I don't agree with this, is now you can go find these collectible things, and I forget what the actual name of it was. But when you go to find them, you can actually make a device in Constellation where you can put, I think the first time in is 15 items that when you go through Unity, those 15 items are sitting in there and you can draw them out on your next playthrough, which for me would mean you're kind of OP at the point because The whole point of it is starting over again. You know the quest line. You know what you have to do. For me, I would wait on the main quest with Constellation, and I would go do all the side questing. I would go look at all the planets that either A, I didn't get around to the first time, or B, there are areas that I knew I wanted to put an outpost into. So I would go there, set the outpost up, set everything I wanted up with the very limited supplies I had.
Is he talking about Starfield again?
Yes. And then go from there. But now with the new update, you can now put stuff in there and you can get that on the other side. When you upgrade it, or when you upgrade would be the right word. Then you can fit up to 200 items in there. And they were talking about dodgy picks. They were talking about not sim packs, but med packs, emergency packs, trauma packs, all this crap that you find readily available everywhere else, except for when you get to the other side. The whole point is supposed to be you're supposed to be powerful enough to hold your own, and you build more things. It gives you a blank canvas to be able to do whatever you want to do. So I don't agree with that part at all. Period. I'd love to hear everybody else's opinion. If anybody else out there plays Starfield, put it in the comments, and we'll go from there. And by the way, we got the Fireball coming in hot.
Yeah, I know I'm late.
And had you stopped to take a breath, I might have been able to tell you my camera froze up, so I'm going to reset it real quick.
Oh, I was gonna say, because I was like,
You got Godfather going on a tangent because Starfield's got a new update. He doesn't know how to take a breath when talking about
one
Starfield.
update, one.
Did they come out with multiple?
Oh yeah, they came out with 3.
No.
Although the first one I don't agree with. The first one, like I told Crest Rider, you have to get it from a modder, from a creator. But the other 2 are coming from Bethesda.
Oh, hey, look at that. We got a new backdrop.
We do.
What backdrop you got for us, Chris Ryder?
It would be the same backdrop as last week, only this time it's in night mode.
Oh, okay.
So, real quick, Fireball.
Yes.
What vehicles did you guys test drive?
We looked at a Chevy Trailblazer and a normal Blazer, 2026, and then we went and looked at a 2026 Toyota RAV4 XSE.
That's it?
That's all the time we had for. Otherwise, I was going to miss the podcast.
Yeah. So what do you? Okay, I've already done Starfield. I swear to God, if it is Call of Duty or AI related, we are gonna kick you clean off the podcast. But what do you got for us this week?
Well, UK is, from what I've heard, I haven't looked too much into it because I came very unprepared. But the first ever Minecraft theme park is opening in the UK next year.
That's interesting.
And it's gonna have the world's first Minecraft themed roller coaster.
That's highly interesting. I'm trying to grasp how much is in Minecraft that would make an individual go, "Ooh, I want to go to that theme park."
Well, the thing is you've got three. Just looking at it, there's so many different things that they could do for rides. I mean, you can model rides after certain mobs. You've got 3 different dimensions to choose from. You've got the Nether, you've got the End, and you've got the Overworld. And then you can have like when it comes to like concessions and stuff, you've got plenty to choose from when it comes to
Mm,
food.
I don't know, because here's what I'm going to say about that. If some of the biggest games out there only have a section to a theme park, Minecraft isn't that big to be able to fill an entire theme park.
I don't think it has the capability of being able to.
I don't think it does.
I mean, they said they're working on one Minecraft roller coaster. It doesn't have to all be roller coasters too. You can have different.
See, here's why I say that. I'm not saying that to be a jerk, but look at Universal Studios.
Yeah.
Okay, they've got different sections to the park, and now with that new Universal Studios that's down there, that Grand or Great or whatever the hell it is, Mario, who has been around for 30, 40 years now, he only has a section.
Yeah.
With all that content, he just gets a section. So I don't know. I wish him well, though. I mean,
and it's going to be interesting to see how they do that because, like I said, they're only working on one roller coaster so far. So who knows what other rides they're going to be in there? Because I mean, you go to any type of amusement park and they've got like the teacups there, or they've got some sort of kiddie rides there, or whatever. We'll have to. I'll look more into it when we get more information. But so far, that's all that I know about it.
I'll tell you right now, there's a kiddie ride down in Universal, and for anyone that's been to Universal Studios down in Florida, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. It sits directly across from the Hulk. Uh, that that ride only goes maybe 5 miles an hour, but I'll tell you what, it's the most relaxing 5 miles an hour that you'll ever want to see. So interesting.
Here's a GTA 6 news.
Oh,
Well, I mean,
was
not
about that.
necessarily GTA 6 news, but a record was broken
It wasn't by GTA.
that GTA 6 held.
Yeah, it was for Spider-Man 2. And look into the camera.
Spider-Man brand new day. I know I'm reading what I found. Spider-Man Brand New Day's first trailer amassed 718.6 million combined views in its first 24 hours,
Yep.
beating out a record only set by GTA 6. GTA 6's second trailer is now in second place at 455 million views.
You know who's going to break that record?
GTA 6 when they come out with a third trailer.
Yeah, that next trailer, which and I said this on one of the two episodes, either I think it might have been Thirsty Thursday. But like I told everybody then, the closer we get to pre-sales, which if I'm remembering correctly, it's going to come right around July.
I was gonna say they come out what 3 months in advance?
I think. So it's going to be right around the 1st of July when pre-sales go out.
Oh my god. We're actually in the same year where GTA 6 is supposed to come out?
Supposedly.
Supposedly.
Don't get ahead of us. And I think just before pre-sales hit, I think that's when they're going to drop their final trailer, and they'll probably give us our first official look at the map, our first official look at some cars that'll be available. We already know 2 of the characters in there, but I hear there's going to be at least 2 to 3 more in 6. And I also heard the price tag. It's anywhere between $80 to $100.
Well, I didn't know about that. I got some more Starfield news. I don't know if Godfather covered it. I know I'm coming in a bit late.
What's that?
But Starfield is coming to PS5 on April 7th.
Yep, already
I
covered
already
it.
talked about
Okay.
that.
Yep. I was going to say, knowing him talking about Starfield, he's probably already covered
Well,
every nook and cranny of the game.
You weren't here, so I thought we were going to get away without talking about Call of Duty for 45 minutes, and it launches off into fucking Starfield.
Hey,
It's
at
like,
least it
Jesus.
wasn't my fault this time.
Hey, but did you also see, and I'm sure you're going to see once you see it, they're having a banger when it comes to pre-sale for the PS5. Like, it's flying off of the virtual shelf.
Well, I mean, and I remember we talked about this earlier where, PS5, they were talking about renting PS5s, and I know I think they started doing that in the UK market where it was what, £19? Was £19 or was $9.95 a month to rent a PS5?
And that's not unheard of. So, I mean,
Anything to avoid you actually owning your own games.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's what we're getting to. That's exactly where we're getting to. What else you got there, Mr. Fireball?
Resident Evil 9 Requiem. So far, within the last 17 days of it being out, has sold about 6 million copies, making it the fastest selling Resident Evil game of all time.
All that's going to do is encourage them to put more out.
Yeah, when did the last Resident Evil come out?
Resident Evil 8 Village, and I believe that was 2021?
3 or 4 years, 5 years ago.
Hold on,
They have a cult following. Like, this does not shock me at all.
Yep, Resident Evil Village came out in 2021, making it the 8th main installment of the series following Resident Evil 7 Biohazard.
You know, I remember the very first Resident Evil.
They did I mean, I've played it, I've watched people play it. They did such a great job because they said that this is the last of the Leon Kennedy being the main character and the Chris Redfield like trope that they've got. So any new Resident Evils after that are going to have a whole new storyline.
So they said it was supposed to be kind of the capstone of everything that's come before. So that way, when they moved on, they could go, free and clear. We could do whatever the hell we want because we don't have to tie into what came before.
Mm-hmm.
But from everything I've heard, they absolutely have the ability to make a sequel from this one.
Oh, absolutely. I'm excited to see what they're going to do with the DLCs moving forward because they left a few cliffhangers out there. One of them being we see Leon Kennedy put a wedding ring on, and the entire fan base, including me, is sitting here going, "Who's he married to?" But no, they did an amazing job incorporating. I think it was the first one and the second one were spoiler alert. I just want to put that out there for everybody. Give us a couple seconds before I say anything.
All right, you got your couple seconds.
So Leon goes back to Raccoon City, and Leon goes back to the Raccoon City Police Department, and the way they incorporated everything with that was like chef's kiss, especially considering how decrepit it was, him having flashbacks to what was going on, like replaying the stuff of like he doesn't know what's going on here, but he wants to be able to help, and he doesn't want to have that regret, and him having that regret of not being able to do more for what happened. It's a great incorporation of the entire series, and I could not have been like happier with what they did.
Mm-hmm. That's always a good thing.
Mm-hmm. And from what I've seen across the board, a lot of people have had the same opinion that I have. It was a great way to tie up the entire like Crest Rider said, capstone the entire the entire series
Before they get into the brand new stuff.
before they get into the brand new stuff,
and hopefully don't disappoint their biggest fans. I get it. I do. I mean, Resident Evil's been around since the 90s.
Yeah, one came out in what, 99?
I think it was a little bit before that. I want to say 96, 97.
And if correct me if I'm wrong, the originals were the camera stuck in place where you had to move a certain before the camera switched, right?
You had the whole scene doing this.
There were a number of them that the fixed camera angle was kind of a selling point of it. They wanted you to have to work with what you could see, and that let them set up some of their puzzles where they could place things in a certain way, knowing that you would see it. Where now, if they put something kind of behind the table, if you don't have the right camera angle, you may walk right by it and not notice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the first one came out, I want to say right after Castlevania 2. Because those two came out so close, or one before the other. And because I always get Resident Evil, and at least in my head, I get it mixed up with Castlevania, with that big ass whip that you would always see.
I remember first time playing Resident Evil, I was like 6 years old playing it on my Nintendo 64. And I got so scared because I died to a zombie that I like turned it off and had nightmares for a few days.
Yep, well, it happens. If you can't take the heat, get out of the kitchen.
In other news, looking at CD Projekt Red, or just CD Project, I apologize. They have come out and said that
Hey, watch the earthquakes.
they are making no more DLCs for Cyberpunk 2077, and that they are now transitioning their development teams to The Witcher 4. They have confirmed now that about 499 devs are working on The Witcher 4, and they're leaving about 149 left to work on Cyberpunk 2077 for bug fixes and stuff like that, and etc.
Which is why when the game comes out and sells 4 million copies, they're going to call it a disappointment.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I actually read something about that this week too, where there's a lot of questions out there about gamers' definition of a flop to a hit compared to the developer's definition of a flop to a hit. And in all essence and in all reality, all of the points that they were hitting for both sides, they matched up until the very last point. And that very last point, which we've covered until we're blue in the face, was all about the profit for the developer. If they don't sell 25 million copies, they only sell 4 million, it's a flop. Whereas the gamer is looking at something completely different up until that point of how many copies did it sell. Can I add something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Before it's going to be a different topic. So if we have anything else to say about this, I can wait.
No, I don't have anything.
I haven't had anything, so
Final Fantasy VII Remake. The new version is coming out. I can't remember the actual name to it.
Didn't they remake it once before?
I
Hold up.
don't know that we have the title of the third installment.
I think we do. It's either a Hope or I forget what the hell it is. They have a name for it. As I was reading the article and as I was looking at things for it, they're saying that with these first 3 releases that came out, they're not even to the third CD of the original game. They're only at 50% of the game.
Wait. Hold on. Third CD?
When Final Fantasy came out, it had 3 CDs.
And they couldn't fit it all on one CD?
No.
No, it was a 3 CD thing.
Yep. So you got done with one, and the old PlayStation would tell you to flip to CD2.
Yeah, we're only about a disc and a half into the game so far, though.
Yeah. Disc and a half in, and they're not even at 50% yet. But when I was reading more into it, they said that they are expanding upon the story of Final Fantasy VII. So there's a lot of things that they're expanding upon that the original game didn't even touch on.
Well, yeah, that was kind of the whole point of the first game, was showing them breaking away from the intended path. You notice very quickly that things weren't happening exactly as they did in the original version of the game, and every time something would happen differently, those wraiths would show up, and you'd have to fight them off. And what it turns out to be is those wraiths are keepers of time, and you're deviating from the intended timeline, and they're trying to put you back on track. And in the second one, you're now seeing the effects of Cloud seeing things as they were, but also as they are. And they're leaving a lot of questions in there of what the hell is actually happening.
Yes. And I did hear a lot about that too. And I read about it too.
I really need to get off my ass and actually play these.
I was just
I
about
have
to
them.
say,
You have the new version or the old version?
Both.
Probably has both. I was just gonna say, I think it's about time that I jumped into Final Fantasy VII Remake and go from the first one to the second one, and now that the third one's about to come out, because I played through Final Fantasy the original back on the PlayStation 1. So
Oh, hell yeah.
I know that story. While there's some parts of it that are a little bit fuzzy because oh my god, it's been what, 30 years since I played the game?
Almost.
Yeah.
2027 will be the 30th anniversary.
Yeah, so
It's theorized that that's what they're doing is they're aiming for a release for the 30th
Yeah.
anniversary.
yeah.
I didn't realize that Final Fantasy was that old.
Final Fantasy is one of the OG games that is still
came
releasing
out
new
in-
content.
Yeah.
It came out in the 80s. If I remember correctly, I think the very first one came out for the Commodore 64 or the computer that was preceding it. I
The
wanna
original
say
Final
the
Fantasy
NES.
came out in 1987
Yep, there you go.
in Japan.
Yep.
Hmm.
Because I was looking that up for a trivia part for either Talking Tuesday or Thirsty Thursday, and I was looking up just some trivia that I was going to do, and I was like, "Holy crap!"
Wow, almost 40 years old. That's insane.
About the same amount as what Mario is.
So, fun fact, the original Final Fantasy didn't come out in Europe until 2003.
Yep.
So it was only in Japan?
Well, you have to remember something, Fireball.
We got it in 1990 in the US.
Yeah. Back in that time frame, you had two release dates, and whenever you look at anything for Nintendo or the Commodore or the old Apple II, the games will have two release dates, one for Japan and one for pretty much everybody else. And they're always split. And this is just how I do things. When we talk about their original date, I go with the Japan date. Because if they didn't release it for another couple years to the rest of the world, that means they had time to tweak it before they released it for everybody. So, like Final Fantasy, their original date is like 86.
Or is Godfather's camera starting to slow down?
I don't know. He likes to talk.
Because like I'm seeing like a 2-second delay where he's moving his hands and right next to me, and I'm seeing his hands move in. Yeah, that's as long as it's not as long as it's good on his screen, then we're fine.
It's good on the final production. We're okay.
Yeah. Well, no, that's honestly insane for me because here I'm thinking because I know we've talked about how you've got World of Warcraft. That's what, almost 30 years old.
No, it's 22 years old.
And then you've got Final Fantasy, which is still in production, still making games like Mario. That's almost 40 years old. And that just, to me, being able to have a loyal fan base like that and being able to not only create games that consumers want to buy, but being able to consistently do that is astonishing to me. Because, again, you got game series that will just have a good following for 4 to 6 years, 4 to 7 years, and then just die out, like Medal of Honor, like
Well,
Titanfall,
you
like
also got to look at it like this, too. Okay. And this is just human nature. The more that you can spark somebody's imagination, the more that you keep them. Why do I say that? Look at Final Fantasy. You got wizards in Final Fantasy. You got things that will never happen on the planet Earth. Period. Another game with a cult like following follows kind of that philosophy, and that is the Elder Scrolls. Anytime you put a wizard in there, you're going to catch a loyal following. You just are.
Well, moving on.
Ooh, okay, moving on.
Well, anybody else got anything to talk about with this?
No, I just thought it was amazing how Square Enix has set themselves up to be able to. They've dropped 3 games already.
Well, Square Enix also had more than one banger when it came to a video game title. Because you have to remember, I think Square Enix was the ones that came out with what's it called? Just Cause, the Just Cause series.
I think so.
So I mean, the
I don't
fact that
think Just Cause was Square Enix.
you don't think Just Cause was Square Enix, I thought they were because I thought I remember seeing something on Just Cause 3.
It was
And
published by Eidos and then done by. Okay,
It was bought.
so the developer was Avalanche Studios. They Square Enix acted as a publisher from 2010 to 2018.
gotcha. Okay.
So they just put it out. They didn't
Mm,
make it.
okay.
Yeah, Final Fantasy's been their anchor, and now they have a Final Fantasy that is just like a World of Warcraft, Fallout 76, a live action one, where it just keeps going. But they're also devoted to this Final Fantasy VII remake, and if they're not even at half yet, they got games getting ready just to keep on
hmm
like every 2 years.
And that's like with CD Projekt talking about how they're making a Witcher 4. That's a series that like has a cult following as well.
Yep.
Everyone except the original writer.
Yeah, right. um, but anything else to bring up with this?
Nope.
All right. Well, I will say this. I'm actually happy to see this because a lot of voice actors don't get the credit when it comes to awards and stuff. But Gears of War 3, a game that came out in 2011, mind you, one of their stars is now up for an Academy Award and just won it. Michael B. Jordan just won the Academy Award for Best Actor in his role in Gears of War 3.
Not bad.
Which, I honestly, for some reason, I don't know why it's clicking with me. I didn't realize he was in Gears 3. He plays Jace.
There's a lot of actors out there that have been voiced or they lent their voice to games that you just don't know until you look the game up and you go, "Oh wow,
Right, but
this guy is playing the voice of this, that, or the other." That's amazing.
yeah, like oh my God, his name's Kevin McKidd. Kevin, I remember talking to somebody on TikTok about that. Sorry, Sweet Kitty Pie just told me something. So Kevin McKidd, the guy who plays Owen Hunt in Grey's Anatomy, plays Soap McTavish, the original Soap McTavish, in the
Yep.
old Call of Duty series.
Yep.
And that's like, again, this is why what's really confusing about me is this game came out in 2011, and he's now starting getting credit for it. He's now starting to get accommodations for it.
You got Fireball. You have to remember this, okay? The gaming community is getting more notoriety today than it has ever gotten in the past. So just because he did it back in 2011, but he's not getting the recognition until now, just means that the gaming community has taken that next leap forward. At least in my opinion.
Yes. I mean, I will say this: all credit to all these voice actors
I don't know about all that.
that are starting to get, because there are some voice actors out there that deserve to have some sort of accommodation for it
Yeah,
because they do so well in it.
just look at the voice actor for Three Dawn. Absolutely legendary.
Or look at what's his name, the guy who plays Arthur Morgan. I forget his name.
Yes, another one.
He's always going to be known as Arthur Morgan now, or like Ned Luke, or Stephen Ogg, or these games that are
But at the same time, they also have to remember, and everybody out there knows that I follow along with Santiago Cirillo. So I see the Hollywood side of life when it comes to something like that. But they have to understand, they have to own it that there is some people out there who are not going to know all of their work and they're only going to know them for one thing and one thing only. And that's like
Yeah.
Trevor
A-
from Grand
Ask
Theft
Tim
Auto.
Russ about that one.
Yeah. They have to realize that some people don't care about what they've done. All they care about is you played the voice actor of my favorite character in Grand Theft Auto or Red Dead or Final Fantasy or whatever game that you want to put in there. They could give a damn less what movie you were in. They could give a damn less if you voice acted anything else. And at the end of the day, why do they care? They're making money off of their voice.
Mm-hmm.
Again, that's the way I see it, and it's probably the the most easiest way to look at this.
Anything else to cover?
I don't.
Crest Rider?
I got nothing.
I got one final thing to talk about, and it's about Rockstar.
Oh, okay.
Something pretty shitty on their part.
Okay. That's nothing new.
Mm-hmm. Rockstar has been fined by the HMRC for failing to pay 5 of its UK workers the national minimum wage. They have been ordered by the UK government to repay the total amount of £1,396 and 73 pence, which is, for I think rates, that's like $1,800.
Okay. I mean,
It's a piddly amount compared to what these
Yeah.
studios are playing with. What the hell?
Right, and that's like, to me, that's for a $1 billion company like Rockstar is, that's a shitty PR
No.
move on them.
nope. Don't even go there. Don't. It
Okay.
wasn't Rockstar that did anything. It was one of their departments that screwed them. And I have the same thought for any other company out there who did it. What Rockstar needs to do is they need to grab a hold of their damn HR department and set them straight. That's what, because if you go up to the CEO of Take Two or you go up to the CEO of Rockstar, I don't know if they're the same person or not. Go to the CEO of Bethesda or of Microsoft and you ask them, is all of your employees around the world being paid the minimum wage for the jurisdiction in which they're in? They're going to go, yes. Now, whether HR does or does not, that's a whole different story. But I truly believe that this is just a stupid ass mistake on their HR department. And I say that about all the companies because at the end of the day, that's the only thing I can think of. Because why would Rockstar knowingly underpay them just to know that these individuals will take them to court and Rockstar will lose?
That is very fair because looking up the metrics for that, because like you said, this doesn't make sense to me, so I decided to like play with some numbers here in a bit. Based on roughly 700 to 800 million dollars is annual revenue from GTA Online alone in game sales, which generates approximately 22 to $25 per second. And this figure reflects revenue solely from GTA Online microtransactions and sales.
Yeah. So
So,
this is just a mistake from a department. I don't, because if this was an underlying problem, if this was company wide, we'd be hearing a lot more about it. We just would. But just for a couple employees, this was a mistake by somebody. And it probably cost them their job, to be honest.
yeah, probably.
Is that all we got for this week?
I mean, that's all I got. I mean, I did kind of show up 15 minutes late, and
Yeah,
I
don't do
guess
it again.
I guess I missed the boring part of it, talking about Starfield. So
Oh man, we had a good time.
you had a good time.
We talked about World of Warcraft.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh, you missed a
Dang.
big segment on that.
Mm.
Crest Rider, he absolutely took us to school about the races and stuff that I didn't even know. It was
I've been wanting to talk about that for a while.
well, you should have been here, but but then right after that, we did our introduction, and then we got into Starfield because I knew I could talk about that with Crest Rider for long enough until you got your happy butt into the studio.
Hey, at least he did spend 45 minutes talking about it.
And I have to publicly apologize to Crest Rider. the last edition of the Nomad Gamers, I did not allow him to get his final thoughts in. I was told after the fact.
So, do you want to let him go first this time?
Yeah, I'm gonna let him go first. So, Crush Rider, this is all for you.
I'm on spring break this week. I got nothing going on that I got to really do. So I'm going to be playing lots of video games, and maybe this will give me enough time to actually play something other than World of Warcraft.
That can happen.
It could.
I mean, World of Warcraft, Pokemon.
Well, to be fair, in the entire talk of World of Warcraft, which he cut off midway through, we never actually got into what was happening in World of Warcraft this week. So,
what's happening in the world of Warcraft for this week, Mr. Zanar Crush Rider?
The first season for Midnight actually has started. So the first raids are open. The Mythic Pluses do not start until Tuesday coming up. So those aren't open, but the Delves are open for their seasonal journey.
So,
Nightmare level on Prey is open. The raids are open. There's a lot of content to do.
so what I'm hearing is now is a good time for you to be on spring break.
Yeah. Considering Tuesday another delve opens up, more of the campaign story opens up, more raid opens up, Mythic Pluses open up. There's a lot of shit coming up.
All right. Well, thank you for giving us more WoW. I do apologize for not being here. I do love hear you talk about it because I was a huge like Battleground nerd when I was playing, even though I never ever ever actually hit a max level. I loved playing Battlegrounds. But anything
You
else,
should see
Crush
what
Rider?
they've added with this expansion.
No.
There is what they call training grounds, and
No.
you can go in with a team of players against a team of AI. The enemy team is all bots.
No, because if I get sucked back into this damn game, then I'm gonna be in for a world of hurt.
They are okay. So it's based loosely on an event that they used to do called Comp Stomp. And in that one, you got into Arathi Basin with a group of NPCs, and you just absolutely curb stomped them because they were idiots. Well, they've refined the AI and they've cranked their gear. They are nasty now. They'll kick your ass.
I bet they will.
I
But
swear
no,
they cheat because they just randomly have full health too.
my favorite battleground of all time was forget which one it was, but like it was like a siege battleground where you started on the beach and you had to make your way inward, and you had like
So I think
tanks.
they actually, I know the one you're talking about, and I think they actually removed that one from the game.
Really, because my other one
So
was the uh winter one, not Wintergrass, but the one where you unlocked at like level 55, level 60.
Alterac Valley,
Mm-hmm.
that's my favorite one.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Fireball, we're going to you.
I don't know if you guys saw.
No, we
I
didn't.
did stream today. I do apologize. I am still getting over a sickness that took me out all last week. So I do apologize for not streaming then. I'm going to try to get back in the swing of things. Hopefully my voice will get better. Like I said, I sound like a discount corpse husband.
Look like one too.
No, I don't.
Oh,
Um,
that's mean.
but yeah. No, I'm still fighting the sickness. Hopefully it'll get better. But I'll just have to try to keep you guys updated.
He's got the scourge.
Feel like it.
You know the
He
great
wants-
thing about being remote from the Nomad home base?
What's
I don't
that?
have to be exposed to any of that.
Exactly. Yes, exactly. You're
It's
not in the
not
fire.
infectious, thank you.
You know how much a Lysol I had to use on the cocktail?
Okay. Okay.
I had to disinfect everything.
There's no infection with this. This is just my body hating me.
Yep, yep. All right, so what's up, Nomad Nation? I will not be streaming tonight. Tomorrow is Sunday Fun Day. We're going to kick that off about probably 2 p.m. Central Time. And we'll run that 2 p.m. Central Time to a big question mark, sometimes 8, 9 o'clock at night. Monday, we're going to be doing Grand Theft Auto 5. Hopefully, JJ is with me. We're gonna start the Doomsday heist. We're gonna start the casino heist. I've already started prepping for both of those. And then we are looking at getting into a new game. I'm not at the point to announce anything yet, but what's
Golf.
well, that's coming on Saturdays. Super Battle Golf, and I think we got Crest Rider going to join us for that too. But
I set my conditions.
And when I get paid this Friday, you will definitely be getting a copy. Don't worry, Crest Rider.
But no, the surprise game is not Super Battle Golf, but it will be one that I incorporate into my weekly streams.
Because you could get JJ in on this one, Super Battle Golf 2.
I could talk to him about it. All right, well, we're at that time. I want to say thank you to everyone out there who watched us. We had a bang up day. I can't see the stats for all the other social medias out there. And I'm sorry, I can't do it. But over on TikTok Live, man, we have been very popular today. We have had, I would have to say at least 200 viewers. I've been seeing them come. I've been seeing them go. I've been seeing them do all kinds of stuff. That viewership is way up. And we got 380 likes. Gentlemen, we did something right. We're getting there. So for my co-host, Fireball123D and Zanar Crest Rider, we are your Gnomad Gamers, and we